This is the Roland R-8 Human Rhythm Composer, a drum machine from 1989, one of my favorite drum machines, an absolute must-have for any industrial or dark, heavy electronic music producer. The R-8 features velocity and pressure sensitive pads, and the ability to create loops and beats. The device has 8 individual outputs and 68 built-in sounds, which is not a lot, but it supports expansion via ROM cards, which allow users to incorporate new sounds. I own Power Drums USA, which I think is the best for industrial. I'll show you how it sounds later. Back then, a lot of people felt that drum machines sounded too fake or stiff. The R-8 was Roland's answer to this. However, that's actually what I like the most about drum machines, the fake and mechanical sound of them. You can really shape the sound on this machine with controls like the pitch, some of these samples sound amazing when pitched. For example, this clap sounds like a video game shotgun. And this cymbal reminds me of a classic N64 game. Let me know if you're thinking of the same one I am. When it first came out, the R-8 sold for about $1,200. That's roughly $2,500 in today's money. Roland also introduced a variant of the R-8 also in '89 called the R-8M, a rack mount. In '82, Roland released a second version of the R-8 drum machine, the R-8 Mark II. Of course, it came loaded with more sounds, more features, extra pattern memory. Roland also released a trimmed down version of the R-8 in the form of the Roland R-5, which had fewer sounds and features. Even today, the R-5 is very popular. I never owned one myself. Does it actually sound any different? Let me know. The Roland R-8 was used by tons of artists, such as Aphex Twin, Outtaker, sorry for the pronunciation. Once my R-8 caught on fire, Boot claims. My hands were covered in vodka, so they also caught on fire. And to put them out, I started clapping my hands together. And all the audience started clapping as well. And some of them started setting their hands on fire as well, as a kind of tribute. It was also used on Pig's albums. You can clearly hear the R-8 drum sounds on Praise the Lord and A Stroll in the Park, which are, in my opinion, criminally underrated albums. It was also used by SPK on their album Gold and Poison. What I really like about the R-8, beside of course the drum sounds, is the way it's so easy to make drum loops. Enough talking, here's some of my favorite sounds on it. Let's make a beat. So let's choose a drum kit. I like the B drum kit. There's like 5 drum kits here. B is my favorite. So let's start with the kick drum. Then the snare. This one is really nice. So let's use this one. Let's add a hi-hat. This one is cool. Maybe let's pitch it down. Then the toms. I really like the toms on the R8. So right now it's a basic drum beat. Let's make it a bit more complex. Let's add some kick drums in there. That's nice. Alright, so I loaded some sounds from the Power Drums card, this kick, and this snare. Insane sounds, listen to this. So let's make a beat with them. I turned down the tempo to 100 to make something heavier. Alright, so let's start with the snare this time. Then let's add the kick. That's nice. Let's add a hi-hat. Maybe an open hat at the end of the beat. That's nice. We could even turn down the tempo again. I feel like maybe 90. Wow, that's heavy. Let's add some toms in there. These are crazy. What's more 90s than clap sounds? So let's add some claps in there. That beat is just perfect. So I sampled the R8 in my computer. Time to test the drum sound in a full mix. Let's go.